Hi everybody, I'm Tyler Sangermano. Homemade pasta is one of my favorite things to make, so today I'll be doing it two ways, with a cheese and herb tortellini with basil pesto sauce and a beef toasted ravioli with tomato sauce. I already have my sauces simmering on the stove and my fillings are setting up in the refrigerator, so we're going to get started on the pasta dough. You'll need 4 cups of flour on a clean surface pile. You just want to push the flour out from the center to make a crater and pat the sides as you go so they're firm. Once you have your flour crater and the sides are sturdy, you can go ahead and add the egg mixture. Pour it right in the center of my crater. Just start by caving in the top of the crater and bringing up the sides. Once your egg is nearly covered with flour, you can go ahead and start mixing it. You can use your fingers if you'd like. I prefer using a fork, it's a little less messy. Just go ahead and start mixing it around, holding the sides so they don't collapse. The egg will gradually start to pull in the flour and will form a dough. Once the dough starts to take form, go ahead and start using your hands and kneading in the rest of the flour. You want to do this until you have a nice firm and smooth dough. Once the dough becomes firm and less sticky, remove it from the flour. I've pushed my extra flour off to the side and cleaned my workspace. Now I'm going to gradually work in the rest of this flour into the dough. Making fresh pasta is a lot of fun, and it's something you can get the whole family involved in or invite some friends over and have a dinner party. You want to be careful not to overwork your pasta dough or dry it out. That'll make it very difficult to work with when it's time to form our ravioli and tortellini. So my dough is at the consistency I like it at. It's still a little sticky to the touch, but it's not sticking to my hands or the counter. It's firm and it's smooth. I'm going to wrap this in saran wrap and let it set in the refrigerator for about half an hour. So it's been a half an hour. My dough is ready to go ahead and start rolling. First I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to put this half aside and this will be used for the ravioli. And then I'm going to cut this half in half again. It'll just make it easier to work with. I'm going to roll my pasta with my pasta maker. If you don't have one, you can certainly roll it by hand with a rolling pin on a floured surface. You'll want to roll it to it's about 1/16 of an inch thick, very thin. I like using my pasta maker because it's a lot easier. So you want to just lay some flour down just to rub a little bit on the pasta so it doesn't stick to the maker or your rolling pin. And you want to try and get it as rectangular as possible. This will make it easier to work with and give you a more even space to cut your ravioli and tortellini out of. If you have a pasta maker, start on the lowest setting and go ahead and pass it through. And then we're going to send it back through on a setting up and putting through the part that came out last through first. You want to do this until you get to the second to last setting on your pasta maker. Now that all of your pasta is rolled out, you can go ahead and start cutting out the ravioli and tortellini. You can use a round cookie cutter if you have one, or you can use a regular glass from your kitchen. Just press down and twist. And then you have a nice little circle for your ravioli and tortellini. Now we're going to roll out the extra pasta dough so we can get as many ravioli and tortellini as possible. To form the tortellini, take your circle pasta, put a teaspoon of your filling right in the center, and put some egg wash around the edges. This will help it stick when it's time to cook. Next, fold it in half and secure the edges. Then what you want to do is pick it up in your right hand and place your left finger right in the middle. Bring the two ends around and secure them once you remove your finger. And there's your tortellini. Go ahead and repeat with the rest of the pasta circles. Now for the ravioli, take 2 pasta circles and half a tablespoon of your meat mixture. Place it right in the center. And again, brush the edges with that egg wash. Take your other pasta circle and place it right on top, pushing the ends together. And there's your ravioli. Repeat with the rest of the pasta circles. Now that you have your pasta, go ahead and start cooking it. In boiling salt water, go ahead and gently drop your pasta in. You want to cook it until it's al dente. You'll know when it's ready because it'll float. This should only take about 2 to 3 minutes. When your pasta begins to float, remove it from the water. Place the raviolis on a clean dish. Now that you have your raviolis breaded, go ahead and drop them in hot oil and a skillet. You want to hear them sizzle when you put them in. This is what's going to give them that nice toasted brown. Once your ravioli have a nice color on them, go ahead and put them in a baking dish. Put them in the oven at 350 degrees for 15 minutes to finish the toasting. And there you have it. Homemade pasta 2 ways, with cheese and herb tortellini with basil pesto sauce and toasted beef ravioli with a tomato sauce.